Well, hello to all you raving Thermomix fans. This video is just quickly showing you an overview of the amazing features and cooking modes that the TM6 has. There's literally so many new awesome features that the TM31 and the TM5 don't have. So I just wanted to give those of you who do own a TM5 or a TM31 a quick look at all the extra things that the TM6 can do. So firstly, it is important for me to mention that the TM31 and the TM5 recipes can all be done in the TM6. So you won't have to miss any of your favorite recipes. You'll still be able to make all of those. It's just that the TM6, while it does everything the TM31 and the TM5 does, it does a hell of a lot more. So I'm going to show you that in a little bit more detail, but also as quick as I can. Okay, so the first thing you probably notice is the really nice, easy to use screen that's on the front. It's kind of a cross between using an iPad or a phone and your Thermomix, which is just so easy to use. And even if you're tech challenged like me, you can figure this out. I promise you. It's the easiest bit of technology I've ever used. So this screen here that you're seeing is your time, your temperature, and your speed. Whichever one of these is highlighted is the one that this dial will control. We want to adjust our time, we want to adjust our temperature, we want to make our speed go. And just as an example, the automatic locking lid is next level. So as soon as you start to turn the blades, the lid comes on and locks on, and when we stop the blades, they open automatically. So there's a lot of built-in safety features as well. Now, what else would the screen be used for? So if we swipe to one side, we can see our Cookidoo account, which is where we have 90,000 recipes stored and we can access at the touch of our fingertips. Everything is on here. So there is almost 90,000 recipes on there currently, and they update them all the time. You can access the Thermomix recipes from not just Australia, but all over the world. So it's asking me what I would like to cook today. I can use here to search, or I can also search on my tablet, phone, or computer, or the app. But let's have a little look inside here. Now, if we want to search for something, let's go ahead and have a look. We can search by individual recipes, which I recommend if you're looking for a specific recipe, or what I like to do for inspiration when I'm just looking for things that I would like to try is search via collection. So these are like the books, the cookbooks and the ebooks that are online. So let's have a look at all these. These are all of our collections that we can go into and have a look around. So I find this amazing to look for ideas and inspiration. So let's have a look at the Plant to Plate book as an example. We can see all of the recipes that this has in there. And if we see one that we like, if we're ready to cook it now, we can make it now. If we want to cook it later, we can add it to our list. So I think that basil, avocado, and hemp seed pesto looks really good. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to add it to my collection. Now, a collection is like a playlist, like on Apple Music or Spotify. And we can add as many of these recipes as we want. So I'm going to put that in the healthy all-rounders because I think that fits in there. But you can put a cocktail playlist. You can make one for each person in the family with their recipes, and then you can carry on having a look. But if I wanted to cook something later on today, or I needed to add it to my shopping list, I can click on those three dots again and hit cook today. So this is getting interesting where we make our meal planner. If I want to go into my week, I can see everything I've put into my meal plan. So once you put all your recipes here, they'll show up and you can go to your shopping list and manage your shopping list. But wait, it gets better. You can send that shopping list to Woolworths online. So So that way you can add all your things into your meal plan. It automatically creates a shopping list for you, and you can even send that off to ordering online. So they have thought of everything. When we go to our home screen, we've got my recipes, my week, recently cooked, and a few other options there in our settings. So if I go to my recipes, I can find in my created collections, I can search through and find the ones that I've put there. Now, let's say I wanted to go into one of the recipes. This is where it gets really cool for us. So let's say I want to make this turmeric and ginger paste. Now, when I hit, we can see all the details here. We can see all the ingredients, all the steps, our nutrition table, our hints and tips, everything that you would find in a recipe book. And when we're ready, we can hit start, and you'll see what happens is it takes us through step by step. The scale's measuring 1 grams instead of 5. It's very accurate. And whenever we're finished, each step we hit next, and it'll bring us to the next step, and the scales will reset themselves. So it is like cooking for dummies, guys. It's really easy. Kids can cook really well with the TM6 Thermomix, and it's so safe for them to do so. As soon as they can read, they can cook with this TM6. So that is just an example. When we get to a point where we need to say we want to chop this for 3 seconds on speed 7, it's set up the 3 seconds for us, and all we have to do is turn the dial over to 7, and it's even told us where that is, which is there. Now, let's say I want to exit that. It'll bookmark. So if I wanted to search through more recipes while it's cooking, all I have to do is hit my little bookmark, and it will take me exactly up to where I left off. Now I want to show you some other cool things. So I'm going to cancel that recipe and wanted to show you all of the cool cooking modes. So all of these modes here of cooking are incredible. So we can obviously click on the scales. That's what all Thermomixes have that. The egg boiling function is amazing. So this is no bowl required, no basket, sorry. This is straight in to the Thermomix with the blades don't move. So it's exactly like doing it on the stove. However, A, you're not gonna run out of water. B, you're gonna get your eggs perfect every single time because it's programmed that way. And it just makes life so much easier. Now we've got the blend function, so we can just go straight into blending. We've got warm up, which is one of my favorite additions, and that will replace your microwave. You can reheat in here. All you need to do is select the temperature. So usually when I'm heating a main dish, for example, I use 90 degrees, and then I tap here and start, and it stops when everything else in there is at 90 degrees. So I don't have to guess the time, which is just so good to replace a microwave. Now we've got our turbo function, which is what the TM31 and the TM5 both have. So we've still got that. We've got now the addition of a rice cooker. Now we can still use the basket for the rice cooker if we want to steam some things on top in the Varoma. However, this option here is absorption method. So you just simply do your 1 cup rice, your 2 cups water, and this also adjusts the time to be perfect. So it senses what it needs to do, and it'll give you an approximate time, and that's what it will do. It'll cook the rice for you. Now we've got the pre-clean function. It's so easy to just fill it up with water and set it on pre-clean. We've got dough, which is the option that the TM31 and the TM5 both had. We have kettle, which is, you know, for specialty teas or things that need to be a certain temperature, and that exact temperature, we can select that here. Now we've got fermentation. So just as a side note too, all of these modes have a little info button, and when you click the info button, they give you a rundown of what you need to do or how they work. So you can always refer to that at any time. Now, what else have we got here? Slow cooker. So you can slow cook in this now for up to 8 hours. And this is an amazing function. I've used it many times. Sous vide. If you've not heard of sous vide before, it's where you cook on a lower temperature in water in vacuum sealed bags. So let's say, for example, you've put a nice piece of beef steak into vacuum sealed bags, pop it into the Thermomix. It'll be submerged in water, probably at about 50 degrees for about 45 minutes. And then you sear it when you take it out, and it is restaurant quality amazing. That's actually what a lot of restaurants do. It's so tender and beautiful. I've done it with kangaroo before and it was amazing. Thicken is, a simmering function on a low temperature, on a slow speed. And peeler. Yes, a peeler. So there is a cover that we pop over the blade now. We pop our potatoes in and it will peel our potatoes. Like how many more amazing functions can they think of? So what I love about the TM6 though is that it's bringing out new functions all the time. Because of the software, all it's required is a little software update like a phone, and you will have those new features. So when the TM6 first came out just over 2 years ago, it has since added about 3 or 4 of these cooking modes. So it doesn't mean that if you bought one tomorrow and they then brought out 3 new cooking modes down the track, you will have access to those as well, which is what I love about it. One of the things I love about it. Now, what else can I show you here? Some of the TM31 owners will be happy to know that the sound when the recipe is cooked and it's finished, or one step is finished, you can change the tune. So that's a good thing already. You can change the tune. And you can choose how long it goes for. So I've got mine set to 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, that noise will stop. It doesn't keep going. So you don't have to jump up from wherever you are and turn the machine off. You can just wait and it will turn itself off. You can also set it to unlimited if you like that, but I prefer to 10 seconds, and then you can adjust your sound as well, and you can turn the tapping volume up or off. You can really personalize this is another thing I really love. You can change the language, even your system of measurement. So if you needed to follow a recipe that's in imperial, you can just change it like that, and then the scales will show up for you. Ounces. Just to take you back to Cookidoo for a moment, because that is our incredible recipe housing site where, like I said, you can still make all the recipes that you make now in your TM31 or TM5 in the manual way from that home screen with the 3 circles, or you can search. So if we search from collections, what we can see is all the different collections that are available to us. Show all countries or regions, so we can access recipes from all of these places. But another thing I wanted to highlight is that you can adjust your filters, because for a lot of people, they have special needs when it comes to cooking. So we use our filters section to narrow things down. So we can, if we're looking for main dishes, we can do that. If we're looking, this ingredients one is quite cool, because let's say you open up the fridge and you've got chicken, you've got tomato, you've got spinach, and zucchini. You can pop in all of those ingredients in here and it will show you all the recipes that you can make with those ingredients. So it gives you the ideas to cook with. It motivates you, inspires you to get cooking, and show you all the possibilities you can make. When you're tired and it's late and you just want to do something quick and you don't know what you can make with what you've got, this is where you can use your Cookidoo and your filters. Now, tags. Tags is good because this is where we can put things like gluten-free. And it's going to show you only the gluten-free recipes. We can see how it tells us how many there is. We can also put If we're gluten-free and dairy-free, we can put in dairy-free. And we can then narrow our search right down. If we only want to do it in 15 minutes, what can we make? If we only want to make something that's going to feed 8 people, we can click that. If we want to use something that is only highly rated, we can choose that also. And it just goes on, guys. So once we've narrowed it down, you can have a little look through and it will show you all of the recipes in your search. And they continually add recipes to this all the time. New collections, new books, new recipes by themselves. They're constantly updating it. So you're going to have access to everything that they bring out in the future. And there's something I haven't mentioned yet that's really cool is in your recipe section, we've got this thing here called created recipes. Now, created collections is the ones that you save to your playlist, but created recipes, I don't have any in there at the moment. This is fairly new. But what this means, this created recipes, is that you can take an existing recipe that you cook in your TM31 or TM5 Thermomix in the manual way, where you set the time, the temperature, and the speed, and you can add it to the Thermomix so that you can cook it like we were going through step by step. So you program in the steps once, and then you don't have to program the steps again. It will prompt you step by step like we saw before with the recipes that are already programmed in there. So how cool is that? Any recipe, your mum's favorite recipe from your childhood, something that you always make, or even an existing recipe but with your adjustments to it, you can add that in so you can just follow it step by step. So how amazing is that? We also have higher temperature than what we used to with the TM31, and I think even higher than the TM5. So we've got Varoma, which is a bit higher than 120, but on our programmed cooking recipes, we can actually go up to 160. So we can make things like honeycomb now, we can saute a little bit better, and it opens up a few more options for us. So there you have it, a quick look at the TM6 cooking modes and features. There's so much more than what I have the time for to tell you in this video today, but if you have any specific questions or it sparked any interest or something you want to find out, let me know, just get in touch and I'm happy to help because I've been a consultant since 2013, so I know a lot about the TM31, the TM5 and the TM6 because I've had all three. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you are considering upgrading, get in touch with me before the 28th of February because the Thermomix trade-in offer is only available until the 28th of February, which means you can get $360 off your TM6. You can send in your TM31 or TM5 back to Thermomix in any condition, even if it's not working, or your scales are out, or all your numbers are worn off the front. Doesn't matter what condition it is, they are going to take $360 off the TM6 and you can have the TM6 on your bench.